We have seen in Lagos and Abuja, the protests haven't dwindled like the government expected. It has moved from strength to strength. Day 4, it could go on for more than a week, go on for 2 weeks. Now, what are the consequences if this goes on? And then, I know that we have seen Labour and government hold talks in previous instances, the back and forth movement. But in this particular situation, it has been back and back. Labour isn't telling us they're holding talks, the government isn't saying anything. What is happening?
I said earlier that some states have stopped protesting. Some governors have dialogue with the people. I even saw some in the midst of protesters, the people have calmed down. So what you're really telling me is that we are beginning to understand which governors have the leverage to listen to protesters, talk to them, hear them and calm them down. If this continues for much longer, of course there are consequences for the ordinary man. There are consequences for the governments at state level, federal level, even LGA level. There are also consequences for the union leadership, for NLC and for TUC. You see, when you call an indefinite strike, if you keep it on for too long, Nigerians will go back to work. I can tell you states of the Federation where the markets today are full. I've gotten the reports, I've confirmed, I've verified them. NLC or TUC, you actually appear stronger if you now say, Nigerians, you are suffering, so I halt the strike for now. I will go into negotiations. If you continue indefinitely, one by one, more and more states will start going about their normal business. Markets will start taking place. People will be carrying goods around and ignoring you. Will NSC start trying to fight with the buses? In any case, how about the poor, small businesses? Some people, if you protest for too long, will not have the ability and the cash flow to pay their staff this month. Now, if this protest continues in some states, while in some states they've moved on, if this strike continues for too long, those governors who are unable to bring peace to their states, the satellite will be on them. Already people are asking that, how come things are calm in Anambra State? How come things are calm in Edo? How come things are calm in Rivers? What is the difference between Edo State and Lagos State? Look, we will know the men from the boys. Many things are being defined in this dispute. We will know the real leaders from those who have been taking the masses for a ride. It's important for every leader to get up now and lead, to show example, to calm his people. Because in a protest, anything can happen. I've heard reports of some people being attacked, apart from personal attack, which are verbal. Some have been attacked physically and so on. Do you think that those who are attacking often always attack the real target they're after? Sometimes it's the person who was unlucky enough to be in their path. So let every governor listen and open his eyes and ask himself whether he's doing the best for his people in his own state. It's not the president that will come down and come and stay in a car park or in a motor park in Port Harcourt and talk to the protesters. That is Governor Mechi's job. It's not the president that will come down in Edo State to a motor park and talk to protesters. That is the work of the governor there. So now we are beginning to see who is a real governor. Who are those who are men of action? Who are those who have followership? Who are those who can calm people from those who just talk, hide their heads in the sand, and they start saying things like, I wasn't there when they approved this first subsidy thing. Oh, the timing, I was not there, and so on and so forth. Nigerians will soon get to know who is who. It was the same timing in Rivers and as in the whole country. Same timing in Anambra and the whole country. How come there's calm over there? Because their governors could sell a message. Their governors could calm their people. No date is perfect. But January 1, I think, was signified by the government. In the 2012 budget, there was no provision for fuel subsidy.
You have spoken about belt tightening, and then something that has come to fact, or rather come to light in this whole thing has been the amount of information available to the protesters. Even the regular area boy on the street, he knows how much the president's dinner set cost. He knows things about the miscellaneous expenses that is available to the president. And when these figures are bandied around, do you honestly think that the government can tighten its belt on many of these issues? We've seen these things happen before. Look at the National Assembly. Can they really tighten their belt?
Listen, of course there is phenomenal scope for belt tightening at state government level, at LGA level, at federal government level, National Assembly, State Assembly. I've mentioned the whole lot. It's even debatable who among them needs the most belt tightening. If I'm to guess who needs the most belt tightening today in Nigeria, from the numbers I've seen, I might say perhaps it is Senate and the House of Rep, followed by others. I can rank them. So my point is that the belt tightening should be across the board. It's not enough for everybody to point the finger at somebody else. Everybody who's involved, who knows that he has things they can tighten, should tighten them. And please also, let's be careful. People mischievously bandy figures around. Right from the first day, I started playing with numbers, either as an economist or in school for mathematics and statistics and so on. Most times, you can only make sense of a number when you know what to compare it with. You need a benchmark. Don't tell me that the money they're spending on item X is this amount. Tell me that it's this amount. Last year, they spent less or more. Year before, they spent less or more. Tell me what similar countries spend on the same amount. Then I have a benchmark. But just picking one figure that you don't even know, some people don't even know. Some people think that the presidency is the president's personal office. They don't even know how huge the office is. They don't have a clue how many human beings are there. They don't even know who eats there, who does not. They don't even know who is being fed there. Yet they want to compare numbers. Those are mischief makers. Of course, there are some things you can compare. You can only compare where there's a benchmark. And that is why I could say that I thought that the Senate and the House of Rep need to do something serious on belt tightening, because I've compared their remuneration. I mean, the sum total of what is paid to them for themselves and their aides to what pertains in even the USA and other countries. I do that comparison before I say, yes, there's plenty of scope here for belt tightening. But if you give me one single item, that on furniture they spent X, I'll ask you, okay, how much did they spend last year? How much do other people in similar positions spend? What was the requirement? What was the background? So let's be careful, because just banding figures around, in some cases, is just cheap.
Now, I put you, for example, in the position of a mediator, a go-in-between in this ongoing feud between the government and Labour. If you were going to redo this entire thing, because obviously it looks as if we've got into a log jam, if you're going to redo this entire thing, the information, brouhaha, and everything that happened, what do you think would be the first thing we should tackle in this whole problem?
You know, I will always tell you the truth. I personally have always believed that you needed, for good governance, you needed three-pronged action. And I've said this until I'm tired. Eliminate wasteful subsidies, belt tightening, fight corruption, all three at the same time. I did not develop an interest in good governance today. If I did, I wouldn't have gone to register a foundation called an app foundation, which all it stands for is good governance. It's even in the name and the logo of the foundation. I told myself that the day I stopped being a bank CEO, I would like to spend the rest of my life promoting good governance wherever I can. So the point I'm making is that for me, good governance is not something that I develop an interest in now. I'm happy that what has taken place today has made many more people take an interest in good governance. I wish we will all now take it and take it to the doorstep of all the three tiers of government.
Year on year.
So please, let's be very careful. I agree that it is easy to be very clever after the event. Hindsight is very easy. I think there was an underestimation of the extent to which there had to be belt tightening and fighting of corruption to accompany this measure. But that message has been heard loud and clear already. So let us go back and dialogue. And when you're dialoguing, you will be saying things like, show me what more you will do to fight corruption. Not so, show me what more you will do in the area of belt tightening. I want more in this area, more in that area. Senate says they want to mediate. When they mediate in the room, ask them, okay, you two, what are you going to do about your own belts? You understand me? That is the way forward. The way forward is not a price of petrol alone. Definitely not a price.